thinking about moving to Denver, Colorado and want to know the best and worst parts about it? Well, I know after living here for 16 years what I think the best and worst parts are, but I did some research. I spoke with friends, people in my sphere, people that I know, and I spoke to strangers to find out what they think the best and worst parts about living in Denver, Colorado is. And guess what? We were all pretty closely aligned. I'm Kathy Hansen, a local Denver area realtor, and I am all over the Denver metro area regularly, and I speak to tons of people daily. So here goes. Everyone agrees that the best thing about living here in Denver is our mountains. You know, we are right at the base of the Rocky Mountains. And did you know the Rocky Mountains span from Canada all the way down to New Mexico? They run 3,000 miles. And out of the top 100 peaks of the Rocky Mountains, 78 of them are located here in Colorado, along with the highest 30 peaks. So if you like to hike 14ers, which is 14,000 feet, then we've got the perfect peaks for you to go up. Now, the mountains are located on the west side of the Denver metro area. So one of the greatest things is you never get lost here. You always know where you're at. Look to the mountains and you know that's west. You can ski, and some of the best skiing in the world is located right here in Colorado. You can snowboard, you can hot tub, you can mountain bike, you can sled. There are so many fun things to do in the mountains in the wintertime. But the mountains are also gorgeous in the summer. And there's lots to do up there in the summer as well, with some great hiking trails for you to enjoy hiking or mountain biking. We have tons of cute mountain towns for you to visit. And if you want to go to some of the bigger towns, Breckenridge and Vail, well, you're just an hour and a half away from the west side of the Denver metro area. Now that's without traffic though. The mountain views here are spectacular and they never get old. The second best thing about living in Denver is the outdoor activities. We have plenty of sunshine here in Colorado, which leads many locals to the outdoors to enjoy our beautiful state. All of the mountain activities that I mentioned earlier, plus we have tons of lakes, rivers, and streams for fishing, fly fishing, boating. You can paddleboard. We even do yoga on paddle boards around here, and water skiing. Camping is wildly popular here in the area as well, and you do have to book your campsites early through the state parks. But we also have tons of private campgrounds too. Now here in Colorado, we have over 17,000 trails to enjoy hiking, mountain biking, or snowshoeing in the winter. During the summer months, farmers markets, the outdoor pools, we have plenty of outdoor concerts, food truck nights, and community events at the local parks are all super fun things to do. And you cannot forget about Red Rocks Amphitheater. Red Rocks is one of the best places in America to see a concert. Now it's located in Morrison, which is on the west side of the Denver metro area. And it's an open air amphitheater that was built into the Red Rocks structure. They also hold movies on the rocks there at Red Rocks as well, which is really fun to do with your family. And many local high schools conduct their high school graduations right there at Red Rocks. And what an amazing place to graduate from. And fun fact, all performers at Red Rocks get to sign the secret tunnel. And that includes those kids who sing at their high school graduation. How cool is that? They get to sign right alongside some of the best musicians in history. Think U2, Zac Brown Band, John Mayer, Dierks Bentley, and many, many more. Now there are tons of dog parks here in the Denver metro area, and people here, well, they love their dogs, and you can take your dogs just about anywhere. And finally, our breweries. Sitting outside enjoying a cold beer, looking at those gorgeous mountain views never gets old. The third best thing about living in the Denver metro area is the weather. Even though it's cold, and it's usually a dry cold, which I didn't know the difference until I moved here 16 years ago, there is a difference between a dry cold and a wet cold. And a dry cold isn't nearly as cold as a wet cold. We do have plenty of sunshine. We have about 245 days of sunshine here in Colorado, even though the locals like to say we have over 300 days. It's really about 245 days of sunshine, making us one of the sunniest cities in America. So we can have snow one day and it'll be melted the next. Now, snow days where schools shut down and businesses shut down, They're really great to take time to relax, to enjoy the snow, to take in the beauty of it all, to unwind, to spend some family time around the fireplace, or to go hit those slopes. And we get all 4 seasons here in Denver. So just when you're tired of the winter months and it's cold, it turns into spring. And when those daffodils start to come up and all of our spring flowers, it's an amazing sight. Then we get to summer, and we do get 100-degree days here in Denver area. So it used to be that you didn't need air conditioning, but you do now. It does get hot. And then when you're tired of the heat, well, guess what? It's fall. And fall, it's football, it's sweaters, it's our fall leaves, the trees changing, and there is nothing more majestic than seeing those gorgeous colors of our trees turn to the bright yellows, oranges, and reds. Now on to the worst things about living in Denver. So I just told you all of the really great things that this area offers. It only makes sense that we have lots of people moving here. So I have always said the secret has gotten out. People know that the Denver metro area is a wonderful place to live. And with that, our population has boomed. Now, the natives here, the locals here, well, of course, they don't like it. So we moved here 16 years ago, and I always say it's before it became the popular thing to do. But when we first moved here from Orange County, California, this felt like a small town feel in a big city. It wasn't small town America. Obviously, we're a big Denver metropolitan area, but it sure had that small town feel. One of our main highways here is a 2-lane highway when we first moved here 16 years ago. And coming from the land of 6 to 8 lanes on each side of the highway, this cute 2-lane highway was a breath of fresh air, and no one was on it. Well, over time, over the last 16 years, that 2-lane highway is now 2 to 3 lanes on each side, and it is regularly full. Now, I'm not talking sitting in traffic like it was in LA and Orange County that I was used to, but there are cars on the highway now. It's not empty like it used to be. And due to the amount of people moving here to the Denver metro area, of course, our home prices have skyrocketed. And that's the second thing that people who live here don't like. Our home prices have risen over the last 8 years at a faster pace than most of the cities in America. And we are at the point now where our average home price is in the 700,000s. That's insane. The average priced home, 700,000. And what does that do? Well, that makes it really tough for our first-time home buyers, which is why so many people say the second biggest negative about living in the Denver metro area is our home prices. Now, Colorado is an amazing place to live, specifically the Denver metro area. From the gorgeous mountains to the fantastic weather to all the 4 seasons and all of the outdoor activities. And we didn't even touch on our sporting events, our professional sporting teams that we have here, which also adds to so much to do. You can see why people are flocking to the Denver metro area to live. Because of that, our negatives come into play. It's not small town anymore, and with that, our housing prices have increased dramatically. As with anywhere, you've got to take the good with the bad. Like I said earlier, the secret is out. Denver, Colorado is a great place to live. Now, most natives won't tell you to come on down and join us, but I will. Moving to Denver was one of the best decisions my family made. If you want more information on living in Denver and real estate and the real estate market here, well, hit that subscribe button so that I know to keep producing content for you. And with that, if you want more information about moving to the Denver metro area, well, I'm your gal. I'm Kathy Hansen with eXp Realty and Homes by Hansen.